wanted to begin by asking you, casting the series, so much different than any other Batman series or Justice League or any of the other DC stuff that you've worked on in the past. Tonally, comedically, the show's a little different. Could you talk about that difference and how that sort of changes the casting on the show in week to week?
Sure. Fortunately, many of the voiceover actors that I work with and have worked with for many, many decades can do all different kinds of styles. So you can get John DiMaggio playing, the Aquaman silly and broad and goofy and outrageous, and then you'll see him play in Under the Red Hood, the Joker, really intense and scary and dark. And so I'm lucky that I get to work with so many actors who have such versatility, and that's a wonderful thing. I always look at each individual project as its own entity so that I don't repeat myself as far as style. I want, just like the artwork, we don't want each one to look like the same thing, so I try to find voices that that sound different. And that doesn't mean I have to use different actors. I just need the actors to come up with different voices. So that's always a challenge for all of us. And we play, and actors will walk in and say, "What do you want?" And, well, here's the style, this is what it looks like, here's what we've been doing, and let's try to create something that's new and different. And that's always fun to watch an actor who's been working for years come up with something they've never done before. That's really, it's stimulating for me, it's interesting for me.
Yeah. Is there one character, maybe a recurring character on this series that was the most difficult to sort of cast and find the right voice for?
Not one that comes to mind. I bet there was in there. We have episodes coming up, and I'm not sure which ones have aired yet, but there's instances where, for example, we see the Flash in many different incarnations, all in the same cartoon. And so to cast all those different, the Wally Wests and all the different voices, yet to have it make sense that they're all in the same universe at the same time is always a challenge. And then you think of somebody, oh, I know the perfect person, and they're not available. And so there's always that issue of trying to make it happen. You want them all to be, I do, want them all to be in the room at the same time. I like ensemble record, which means they're all there together acting and reacting off of each other. And that way you can make sure that somebody's not doing the same voice as the guy that's going to speak after him, so that you have nice differentiation, and yet they understand what was just said right before and what was going to be said right after, so that they fit in. So when they're all together, that works great. And I think that episode, the Wally West, the Flash episode, was able to record everybody together. We had wonderful talent in there. It was Alan Tudyk was in that one, and John, it's going to be terrible, I'm going to forget his name, but John Shippey, I forget. But there's a terrific cast on that. That's right, exactly right. And what is
on the original series? No, you had it right,
John Shipley or Shippey, I think. But he was wonderful. It was delightful to work with. And so we try to do that kind of call back to, there's some reason why we went back and got that actor, well, the Flash.
Well, I wanted to actually ask you about that, because I'm not sure if it's aired yet, but wasn't there going to be an episode that brings back the original Batman TV series voices? Is that coming up soon? Is that something that hasn't aired yet?
I don't know what's aired yet or not. I really forget which order they air in, and what has aired and what hasn't yet. But yeah, there's all different kinds of crossover. We even have an episode this year, I talk about a crossover, an episode that has the Scooby cast in a Batman Brave and the Bold episode, which is just great.
Because Batman was on a Scooby episode back in the 70s.
See, exactly. So there's always that kind of fun thing where you try to do a crossover, and when they're within the same company, certainly with Warner Brothers and stuff, trying to make that happen. And always fun to have the actors work together and play together.